What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Thomas, and you're tuning in live on Spreaker.com, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter to the Thomas Take Sports Podcast, my podcast that I started about 3 years ago, covering a wide range of sports, mixed martial arts, NFL, MLB, you name it, I cover it. I enjoy this podcast. It's not a hobby. It is a true passion of mine, and very happy to hop on. Very hoppy, I almost just said. Oh, my Lord. Very happy to hop on to the podcast and delve into the Professional Fighters League, which starts very soon. As we get closer to the debut of the Professional Fighters League, and as I'm on my laptop here, I'm excited for this. I really am, and I want to preface all my statements by saying that I am excited for this reason. I've been a mixed martial arts fan for a long time. I remember the days of Pride. I remember the days of the WEC. I remember the days of Strikeforce. And more competition for the UFC, the better. The better it is for the sport of mixed martial arts, because at the end of the day, I want to see the sport of mixed martial arts continue to grow at a high level. And June 7th is the debut night of the Professional Fighters League. The slogan of the Professional Fighters League, the PFL we'll call it, there is no undercard. Every fight, every punch, every kick, every move counts. And I want to go back here. They have 72 quote-unquote elite MMA fighters, 6 weight classes, 12 per weight class. $10 million is on the line in the 2018 season. And obviously, every move counts in the battle for the crown and a $10 million purse. So the way this is going to work out, and it's very, very different. The way this is going to work out is, well, let me just play the ad. Let's play the ad. Let's take that in and play the ad for everybody. Courtesy of PFLMMA.com. Here is the ad for the Professional Fighters League that you should tune into. Let me get it on here. What the heck? Well, that would help. That would help to have the volume on, wouldn't it? Okay. So as I set this up here, let's go. Ready, set, go.
Discover the soul of a fighter, where professional athletes control their own destiny. And boom! Experience the regular season, playoffs,
heavy hands here,
and championships in our exclusive PFL format. This is MMA Reimagined.
Oh, it connects!
This is the Professional Fighters League.
Premieres Thursday, June 7th, exclusively on NBC Sports, which I want to talk about why I like this a lot and why I don't like it a lot. So I like this a lot, as I mentioned, due to the fact that it adds new competition for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which I think is much, much needed. We need more leagues. We need more opportunity for fighters to gain notoriety outside of the UFC. We just do. The idea of a regular season and then like a playoff format, I like that. It's almost NFL MMA-ish. The way that they've integrated that into the sport, I think, is going to be very interesting, and definitely makes it worth watching. It puts a new spin on MMA, which, you know, most leagues are striving to do that. Bellator has accomplished that with these World Grand Prix, which I know they're going to have another one at some point in the near future with another weight class. The Professional Fighters League is doing the same thing with this regular season idea, this playoff idea. And then obviously the opportunity for whoever wins these tournaments to win $10 million. That is life-changing money that most MMA fighters just do not make. They do not make that much money. There's the top 1%, which features Conor McGregor, and then there's somewhat everybody else. So there's only a select few out there that really make elite money. And the fact that one of these fighters could make that much money is great. But you notice how I said one of these fighters. You don't have a deep roster, a stable of fighters that are well known. There's some guys mixed in there, Lance Palmer. There's some guys that are in there that people know about, but not many. Will Brooks being another, former Bellator champion and UFC fighter as well. Jake Shields, not many. And I think that maybe once this grows a little bit, once fighters see that these fighters in the PFL are actually making life-changing money, maybe that will be what helps gravitate fighters to that promotion. What also helps the fact they have a good broadcasting deal with NBC, and they also are available on Facebook Watch, so people can literally watch the fights on Facebook. The UFC had that platform for a long time, back in 2013, 2014. And it's a good platform for the PFL to somewhat get their fighters recognized. And that's really essentially what will happen the longer this is around, which it was the former organization known as the World Series of Fighting. Now it's the Professional Fighters Leagues. They've kind of taken a baseball spin, turned it into a football spin to it, if you will. Spinning a baseball, spinning a football. They changed the rigmarole of it. And they've brought in some really great people inside the sport of mixed martial arts that I think everybody should definitely know. The main guy that I believe will really, really help promote the Professional Fighters League and really do what's right for the fighters, that will show integrity, that won't do things in a shady way like the Oscar de la Hoyas, like the Don Kings, like the Dana Whites, is the new get of the Professional Fighters League, and that is Brian Stann. The fact that they brought in Brian Stann, I think, is a great addition for their brand. Brian Stann is a highly regarded individual for obvious reasons. Former war hero, or not former war hero, a real war hero, I should say. Former world champion. I mixed those. War hero, former world champ, and a guy that I think has every ounce of integrity that you want in someone running a fight promotion, which he's not exactly running it. He's more of an advisor, and he's a part of the advisory board with the promotion, which basically means that he sits at a table with other members of the board and kind of strategizes and plans what the PFL should do next, the next move for the organization, which I think having him in there, no matter what, even if it's in that capacity, that does mean that he will have a hand in this. And I couldn't have thought of a better person to be in charge of this position than Brian Stann, to help bring this organization to the forefront, to help make Professional Fighters League something that people can grow to admire as the years go by. I think better fighters will definitely help, and I really believe that the fights are on a great platform. So great platform, not so great fighters, great hire by bringing in Brian Stann. I'm really interested to see who's going to be the members of their broadcast team. I think that holds weight to me as a viewer and as a podcast host, broadcaster, whatever you want to call me. Mike Goldberg and Chael Sonnen, Mauro Ranallo and Chael Sonnen, Mauro Ranallo in general on his own in Bellator. And then you have John Anik and Joe Rogan and Jimmy Smith over from Bellator to the UFC. Frank Mir is going to be doing work for them. Big John McCarthy has really transitioned into that role really well. there's a lot of great commentating teams in MMA. The broadcasting and production is top notch. Can the PFL really stand toe-to-toe with that? I've heard that they're going to try to bring in Randy Couture to be a co-color commentator. That would be great. I love Randy Couture, one of my favorite fighters ever, and a guy that knows the ins and outs of the sport, and is very charismatic. So that would be another solid get for the PFL. So the Professional Fighters League, they debut June 7th at MSG and on NBC Sports. So, I mean, venue solid, network solid, fighters not so solid. It's very, very fresh, very, very fresh and very, very new. But the Professional Fighters League, a new league inside the sport of mixed martial arts that I know I'm going to watch. I'm intrigued. I want to see what they bring to the table. I want to see the differences between the PFL and the UFC and the PFL and Bellator and almost the PFL and WEC back in the day. I think no organization really mastered MMA like the WEC did. Just my personal opinion. Take care, everybody.